All right, people, your boy Matt Mike here, man. One to expand on the offensive line for the Atlanta Falcons, man. I pretty much stated earlier today that my thoughts on who I want to succeed this year. The first one I have was Jake Matthews. Now, look, man, a lot of people just so down on Jake Matthews. Didn't have a good Super Bowl. Didn't have a good run last year as far as fast pass rushes are concerned. For me, I think Jake Matthews is probably one of the most underrated offensive tackles in the game. What's going on, Jeff? What's going on, man? Man, Jake Matthews is probably one of the most underrated offensive tackles in the game, man. I thought, look, man, Atlanta Falcons fan, one thing that we just don't get appreciation for is the players that we do have. Okay, no, they're not. Jake Matthews is never going to be an Orlando, those type of guys. But for the most part, man, if you look at the talent pool in the NFL, there isn't a lot of talented offensive tackles, especially left tackles in the game. He is absolute. When it comes down to it, man, Jake Matthews is absolutely, exactly what we need right now for the Atlanta Falcons offensive line, man. He's not great at anything other than being, he's great in run game, pass rushing. I think he has a tendency to run, kind of. Yeah, this siren, this police siren. It's been raining for the last couple of days, but this shit is getting on my nerves. It's been like this for the last couple of week with this, or the last couple of days with all this rain and whatnot in Atlanta. But yeah, man, Jake Matthews is really underrated, man. I don't think a lot of people give him enough credit for what he is. Like I said, he's not going to blow you away with a lot of excellent highlight plays as far as pass rushing. He's going to give up sacks here and there. Like I said, when you look at Jake Matthews, excellent athlete, excellent pedigree, excellent talent, strength, but he really, really, okay, if you look at a highlight that I had on my Twitter account, I'll kind of retweet that later on so you guys can check that out. But you get Jake Matthews out in space, get him out in space, and the zone cut technique. You seen him with Devontae Freeman. He's an excellent run blocker. Excellent run blocker. And I don't think he gets enough credit for being one of the best run blockers in the league. Okay? So the fact of the matter, man, Jake Matthews is not gonna blow you away with, a lot of big plays, huge plays and whatnot. But, for me, man, is he worth $15 million a year? It's not really my thing to say yes or no. I will say this: whatever the market is, Jake Matthews deserves to get market value. And like I said before, I don't like to count people's money and whatnot, but especially guys like a Jake Matthews, like a Julio Jones, Matt Ryan. If the market say these guys are worth it, man, who the hell am I to say they're not worth it? Get your money, bro. As far as Wes Schweitzer, oh my God, yeah, Jet. That dude, oh my God. Oh, Lord have mercy. Wes Schweitzer was just a nightmare. I mean, he was one of the reasons why, that Falcons could not get any, they couldn't get any help when it came down to, it was a miracle, to be honest. We got lucky beating the Rams, okay? Our defense is great. Our defense is great. All right, make no mistake about it. That defense is great, but that offensive line last year with Wes Schweitzer and Andy Levitre being injured for most of the year, the Falcons offensive guards, they were pretty bad. So I'm really looking forward to see what Brandon Fusco can bring to this line, bring to the offensive line. I think he will definitely help the offensive lineman, especially in the running game. You got Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman. Man, these guys are special in the open field. So you open you you get a offensive guard like Brandon Fusco who can who can physically dominate. He's better at run blocking than pass blocking. But like I said, if you can get this running game going, man, with Julio Jones and now Calvin Ridley, and with the Austin Hooper. Now, a lot of people, man, don't sleep on Austin Hooper. I'm telling you guys, if you look at this guy, what's good? Keisha, what's good? DSGB, DSG. I love that name, man. DSGB. But yeah, man, if you look at Austin Hoop and his highlights, man, a couple of bad drops last year, and it's just unfortunate that most of them went for interceptions at horrible times. It was just that type of year. But man, like I said before, man, if y'all sleeping on Austin Hooper, y'all gonna be pleasantly surprised about what this guy does this freaking year. If you look at him in the open field, he reminds me of what's good, man. B baller DD, whatever the hell that man. No, I'm just tripping, man. But yeah, like I said before, man, if you look at Austin Hooper, his highlights, this guy is something special in the open field. You saw, I forget which game that was, but he caught a long pass and pretty much when the guy got close to him, he gave this guy a hell of a stiff arm. Like, bitch, get the fuck off me. All right, get the fuck off me. One no Jamal Anderson, stiff arm. So, man, he got a lot of speed, athleticism for a tight end. And like I said, man, if y'all sleeping on Austin Hooper, man, and this Falcons offense, man, when I say these dudes are loaded, I'm telling you, man, Austin Hooper is an athlete, bro. That's the reason why that was the reason why they drafted this kid. Okay, this guy is a elite athlete at tight end. There's not too many guys who can run in the open field, who is athletic, speed, he can jump, and the only thing he has to, to continue to get better with is pass blocking, run blocking, and just catching the damn ball, concentration. That's all it really comes down to. When you have a lot of drop like that, it comes down to concentration and being confident in what you are doing on the field. That's all. So when I look at it, man, the Atlanta Falcons, this offense, man, I'm so freaking excited for what this offense can do this year, especially with the addition of, oh my God, I cannot say this enough. With the addition of Calvin Ridley, Julio Jones, Mohamed Sanu, I mean, just think about that. If Calvin Ridley can give us more than what Taylor Gabriel did last year, as far as big plays are concerned, Falcons didn't have a lot of big plays last year. That was the main reason why they did not score a lot of times. So, and another thing that I want to expound on is the notion and the idea that Julio Jones did not get a lot of targets in the red zone. I think a lot of people, for me, I did a stat on Twitter, and it pretty much stated that the Atlanta Falcons, Julio Jones, he did get the targets. It's just the Falcons offensive coordinator, Steve Sarkisian, he wasn't as creative as other offensive coordinators by getting Julio the ball in the middle of the field. The middle of the field, when you get to midfield, 4-yard line, you have to come up with big play design so you can get these guys, either get that safety coming up with play action, and that goes to running the ball a lot better. The Falcons' running game wasn't as good as it could have been last year. But for the most part, like I said, man, it comes down to play design and getting Julio the ball. Trying to find ways to get Julio the ball around that 50, the 40-yard line of their own, and in the enemy territory, on that 40-yard line. So that where the big plays has to come from. It's not so much the 20-yard line, the red zone. Julio Jones will get his targets in the red zone. There's no doubt about that. There wasn't any lack or slack off of his numbers last year. A little bit earlier, they tried a little bit too hard to try to get Julio, to use him as a decoy. And I think that was a major mistake with Steve Sarkisian did early in the season. But towards the end of the season, the Falcons did everything possible to try to get Julio the ball. But as far as, big plays are concerned, I continue to say this over and over again. Most of the touchdowns in the NFL becomes within that 40 to 40 range, where you are in your territory on the 40-yard line and in the enemy territory in 40-yard line. You have to draw up plays that can get, guys like a Calvin Ridley, Taylor Gabriel, who was with us last year. Get these guys going deep. You can draw plays to get Austin Hooper deep, Muhammad Sanu, guys that are, fast, and, these guys can go across the middle. So the Falcons, man, if they can be a little bit more creative. Steve Sarkisian, you have quarterback coach who was with the Atlanta Falcons previously, and Greg Knapp. If these guys can come up with something creative, if they can, come up with do some things with the RPO, do some things with the screen games, and just reverses and whatnot in the right position and time. Because I don't want to see another damn reverse. I had no issue with the call of the reverse on the goal line, but you can't have a damn goal line. You cannot have Taylor Gabriel getting a reverse on the goal line. Taylor Gabriel at best is a 5'8", 165 pounds, if that damn big, okay? He is too damn little to be getting a damn reverse on the goal line. While all these big 300, 400-pound guys, 250-pound guys will knock the living hell out of them. There's no reason. You're not going to fool anybody, especially not the Patriots. With Taylor Gabriel, I would much rather have Julio, getting that ball at that time. But, man, like I said before, man, I'm ready for training camp. And one thing people are just overlooking the Atlanta Falcons team is with this defense. I do not think these guys realize how special this defense could be. These guys are still 2-3 years in the game, okay? That's still 2-3 years in the professional game, and you have a young Takk McKinley. Like I said, Takk McKinley last year in limited time was one of the best rookie pass rushers in the game, okay? There's no doubt about that. So you get him at full time, you get Vic Beasley doing what he does best, and he's a pass rusher extraordinaire. He's one of those guys like Von Miller who can get 5 sacks in one game, okay? Vic Beasley can do that. He's an elite pass rusher. So the Falcons have 2 pass rushers, and let's not make any mistake about this. Let's not make any mistake about Takk McKinley. This guy is huge, okay? And he has just as much a get off as Vic Beasley. He is quick off the ball to be such a big guy. That is amazing. He is good on the run, and he is just as fast as Vic Beasley getting off the line. That is incredible. And you pair that with a Grady Jarrett, who is just one of the most underrated defenders in the game. The Falcons defense could be absolutely a freaking problem for everybody. And I haven't even mentioned that last year was a down year for our best corner. It was a down year for the best corner in the game and on this team. And one of the best corners in the game, and Desmond Trufant. So if Trufant can continue to get better as far as his, ball hawking skills is concerned, if you add another piece like an Isaiah Oliver, who is a tremendous athlete, Robert Alford, My goodness, man. Like I said, man, this Falcons defense could be absolutely scary. That could be a problem for this NFL. And I don't think a lot of people are paying or giving a lot of respect to what Dan Quinn and Marquand Manuel are doing to this team. We haven't seen a defense. We haven't seen a defense like this in a while in Atlanta. And you pair that with Matt Ryan, he stays healthy. Like I said, man, this team could be absolutely a problem. And no, I don't think the Eagles. I don't think the Eagles are as good as people think it is. I think it was just a lucky year. You have one of those years that you just see a team they just hot at the right time. But I don't think the Eagles are as good as people portray them to be. I think we go up to Philadelphia, whoop that ass, and we show everyone why we are still one of the still a contending team to go to the Super Bowl. There's no doubt in my mind, especially with this defense and the offense that was struggling last year. Yeah, I really believe that this Atlanta Falcons team are poised for a big, big year. As far as Deidre Sanat is one of those X factors on this defense. If he can give you, at the very least, a pass rusher to add that with the Grady Jarrett, you have Jack Crawford, another guy that you have to keep an eye on. When Jack Crawford had time in the preseason, he was disruptive. He was a problem for a lot of teams. Okay, granted, this is the preseason, but when you see a guy that stands out and make plays, and many plays that Jack Crawford did, and if you can go look at his tape, even when he was with Dallas, this guy made some plays. So the fact of the matter for me, man, I'm so freaking excited to see what this brings for Atlanta. Like I said before, man, if you think that the Atlanta Falcons are going to lay down, or they won't stay, if the Falcons won't continue to be one of the top teams in the game right now, you are sadly mistaken. You are sadly mistaken, because this defense is ready. This defense is legit, hard hitting. You have hard hitting as Keanu O'Neal, will break your freaking neck at any freaking time. I don't think a lot of people are giving them credit. So, like I said before, man, if you think this team is going to slow down, then this team is going to be, a 9-7, a 9-7, a 9-7, 10-16. I really can't see that. I really can't see that. I really think the Falcons are going to be a team that's going to break out at least 13-3 at the very least for me. Because, like I said, I don't think people are giving that Atlanta Falcons defense any freaking credit for what they did last year. This team is definitely on the rise, and if they continue to get better, they've gotten younger. They've gotten rid of a guy that was pretty good at run stopping, and if they had to get rid of a guy that was pretty good at run stuffing, and Dontari Poe, it wasn't exactly what I thought he would be, for a defensive tackle. He did a great job at run stopping, but he didn't provide anything as far as pass rushing is concerned for me. And like I said, man, you continue to and Jeff, David, the Falcons defense, they're physical, they're fast as hell, and like I said before, I don't think a lot of people are giving this defense the credit that they deserve. These boys are absolutely electric on defense. They're fast as shit. You have a linebacker who is without a doubt the best cover linebacker in the game, okay? He's the best cover linebacker in the game. Deion Jones is absolutely electric. He's going to get you 3 to 4 interceptions himself. When you compare that, you pair that with a Keanu Neal. If you think of coming across that middle, your eyes are going to be on 22. I can promise you that. I can promise you that. Nobody wants to get hit by 22. That guy's a fucking missile, okay? That guy's a load. He will knock you the fuck out. So the fact of the matter, man, I keep telling people over and over again, this defense does not get enough credit. We nearly made it to the NFC Championship when the offense was not as good as they could have been. With the injured Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, our first-year offensive coordinator, a struggling, I wouldn't say a struggling secondary, but they didn't play at their best. But like I said, man, these people continue to think that the Falcons defense is not legit. And they've gotten younger, faster. I don't know, man. Jeff Drew, yeah, that crap. I've never paid attention to that bullshit. That bullshit ass, because that's exactly what it is. That bullshit. Top 100 NFL players. I mean, the fact that you have Antonio Brown over Julio Jones. I honestly, man, and I'm not just saying it because Julio is a hometown guy and he plays for the Atlanta Falcons. Antonio Brown is a terrific wide receiver, but he does not possess the tools that Julio Jones give you. When Julio is injured, he's still one of the best receivers in the game. There's no drop off when he's injured. He's just not as fast, not as explosive, but this guy's still elite when he's injured. When he's, he was dealing with a foot issue, a toe issue in 2016. Okay? 2016, he was dealing with a toe issue and completed the entire season. I don't know many people who, look, I broke my fucking pinky toe, okay? I broke my fucking pinky toe, and you talking about somebody limping around. That shit hurt. And I don't know how the hell Julio Jones played football with a freaked up toe the way it was. How the hell this guy continue to do this? All right? How in the hell Julio Jones, with all the injuries, with all the defense completely and only is worried about Julio Jones? We're going to stop Julio Jones. The defense game plans for Julio Jones first, before the offensive line, before Matt Ryan, before Devontae Freeman. The first thing that this defense says is, how are we going to stop Julio Jones? Period, point blank. And I tell these idiots who want to trade Julio Jones, you guys need to really hit some film. I advise you guys to check out Brett Coleman, one of the best guys as far as breaking down film is concerned. You can check him out on YouTube. He does a lot of breakdown on players and film and what Julio Jones and a lot of guys mean to an offense and the defense, the impact of offense and the defense. He does a great job. So I advise you guys to check them out if you really want to learn what football is all about. But like I said, man, Wentz over Rodgers. Wentz over Rodgers. I mean, just, oh, Jesus Christ. They said it was supposed to be how they do it is based on the previous season. But even on the previous season, I don't think a guy like an Aaron Rodgers should be. I mean, that's just disrespectful to even put Carson Wentz over Aaron Rodgers. And I'm not the biggest Aaron Rodgers fan. I mean, we all know he's a fucking legend. He's the best quarterback in the game as far as I'm concerned. They just kissing, like I said, over and over again. If you, if I had the choice to pick Tom Brady or Aaron Rodgers, I'm gonna pick Aaron Rodgers because let's not make a mistake about it. Tom Brady has been absolutely gifted a handful of Super Bowls. He's not the soul. Why they won majority of. If I remember it correctly, Adam Vinatieri, the defensive stop in Seattle, they've had at least three Super Bowl wins where Tom Brady was not the reason why they won. At least. Had not Vinatieri hit those two field goals, we're looking at a loss for Tom Brady. If Malcolm Butler never picked that Super Bowl, never picked that uh, what's the quarterback name? But Russell Wilson. Russell Wilson, if he never would have picked off Russell Wilson in the Super Bowl, we're looking at another loss for Tom Brady. And like I said, man, Tom Brady is probably one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time. But like you said, man, he's one of the luckiest freaking quarterbacks ever in life. All right, and we keep on making excuses for these guys. You know, the NFL have it out for them, the fans have it out for them. I'm like, okay, when are we gonna stop? And when are we gonna stop with this notion that everyone is out for Tom Brady? It's them against the world. How many times have these guys been in the headline for cheating? How many times have they beat in the headlines for cheating? They're always in the headlines for something. They're fighting right now. Okay? They're fighting right now. Cheating. Okay? They're fighting right now amongst each other. Bill Belichick doesn't want the head trainer, Tom Brady trainer, anywhere near his players because they know he is trouble. It's been his career. This has been the story for the New England Patriots for years. They always find ways to beat and cheat the system. So the fact of the matter, I respect Bill Belichick's ability to build a defense, but let's not make a mistake, and let's not try to ignore the fact that these guys are cheaters. This is a fact. I'm not making this up. Fact. They are cheaters. And David, man, look, like I said, man, when it comes to Julio Jones and the Atlanta Falcons, I mean, who are we as fans to say that this guy does not, Julio Jones of all people, don't deserve to be paid? Who in the hell would say, no, I'm going to trade Julio Jones because we gave him a deal? Seriously, this is the best weapon, okay? Yet alone, for me, he's already the best wide receiver in the game. Period. Point blank. He's the best receiver in the game. But he's one of the most dangerous weapons, offensive weapons in the NFL. You have to stop Julio Jones. If you don't stop and you try to play Julio Jones one-on-one with any corner in the league, he's going to get 200 or close to 200 on you. I guarantee you that. He's going to get you 150 if you play him one-on-one. 150 yards plus if you play Julio Jones one-on-one. So you have to have a safety over the top all times with Julio Jones. And that means so much to the running game and to a tight end. You can do so much with Julio Jones just on the field. So like I said before, man, who the hell are we to tell the Atlanta Falcons that, you shouldn't listen to Julio. We shouldn't, do what's best and do what's best for the organization and ignore Julio Jones. Like, yeah, okay, we're going to do that. We're going to piss off the best receiver in the game, the best offensive weapon in the game because we want to stick to our principles. All right, good. I guarantee if he get traded, that team is going to be a Super Bowl and a playoff contender. I can promise you that. And Julio Jones deserves everything that he's getting. And he hasn't got it. He deserves it. For the most part, we have never seen a guy like Julio Jones, never seen a guy like Julio Jones on Atlanta Falcons that is humble. He doesn't cause a stir. You don't have to worry about him being lazy. You don't have to worry about Julio Jones not working out, preparing himself in the offseason. You don't have to worry about him cursing out, you know, the coaching staff. You don't have to worry about him doing, drinking and driving. Guy, if he's been in Atlanta all these years, and the guy hardly ever likes to go out. I saw him one time. We was at a bowling alley in Midtown, just sitting there chilling and minding his own business. That's the type of guy Julio Jones is. He's not a troublemaker, and we have so many idiotic fans that continue to say, the hell with Julio Jones. We're going to trade him because we just gave him a new deal. Well, the NFL works like this, especially if you're a top player. If the market changes, then players want their money. Players deserve their money. And Julio Jones deserves every freaking bit. Anything that Julio Jones, for me right now, like I said, man, if you want to be a Super Bowl contender with the Falcons, or want to be a Super Bowl contender and get back to the Super Bowl and right that wrong that they did in 51, give Julio what he wants. Give what he wants, because it sends a message to your players. If you're one of the best NFL players in the game, you play your ass off, and you, without a doubt, the best player on the team. If the market changes, we're not going to pay you. That's not a message that you want to send to your players. You always want to, make your players happy. You always want to make your best players happy. Not everyone happy, but guys like Julio Jones, who is without a doubt the best player on this Falcons team, you want to make him happy. Period, point blank. And, like I said, these owners make billions and billions off of these players each year. They make billions of dollars off these players each year. Now, if Julio Jones wants more money out of the billions of dollars that these owners make off of these players, now let's remember, I don't know if you guys remember this, but Arthur Blank just built a $1 billion stadium. I mean, he had to get that money from somewhere. What do you think that $1 billion came from? I mean, he still holds a stock in Home Depot, but for the most part, that money came from the Atlanta Falcons. Julio Jones, Matt Ryan, continuously being in the playoffs every freaking year. That's where that money is coming from. So Julio Jones and these players, they want their money, man. They want their money, and it's simple as that. We can sit up here and hate all the time, we can sit up and hate all we want to. But the fact of the matter is, Julio deserves his money. And as far as Jake Matthews is concerned, I can say this, and I said it before, Jake Matthews is not when I think of elite, I think of guys like a Hall of Famer, Orlando Pace. Those type of guys. Those are elite players. There's not a lot of elite offensive tackles in this league. So the fact of the matter is, whatever the market is for a left tackle, Jake Matthews deserves it. He deserves it. He's probably the second best offensive lineman behind Alex Mack. That's without question. That's without question. So the fact of the matter, like I said before, man, these players, whatever the market says, man, we got to stop trying to, be GM. We don't know what the hell we talk. Oftentimes, a lot of these fans, they don't know what the hell they talking about. Have no fucking clue what the hell they talking about. They sit at they desk playing fantasy football and think they really think they, a GM because you successful at your fantasy football league. Like, get the hell out of here. All right, never played a day in your, never played football a day in your life, but now all of a sudden you know what the hell you talking about because you won your fantasy league. Like sit your ass down. No, King, that is not what happened. A lot of that money came from Arthur Blank, and the taxes from basically it's a hard the taxes from what they will from what the players and what the fans will spend at the arena. They got a tax cut, so the city definitely they gave the money that they making from the arena for the bins. That money will go towards paying off that stadium. So the fact of the matter is, like I said, Arthur Blank put up almost his own money to pay off that stadium, and a lot of it did come from taxpayers. But that mean that goes for anything you build, anything in the heart of the city of Atlanta, any city, not just Atlanta, in any city, taxes are going to be involved. So the fact of the matter, like I said before, man, these owners continue to make billions of dollars off these players, and why in the hell Julio does not deserve a couple of 10 million, 20 million, or whatever the hell it is. But like I said, man, he's making a lot. He's still making a lot of money. I think the best thing for the Atlanta Falcons to do at this moment is to just update his contract. I don't think Julio Jones wants more money, but this year he's making $10 million. Okay, $10 million for Julio Jones, and I don't give a damn what team you are. You're not going to get a Julio Jones for $10 million. $10 million, and the Falcons know. The Falcons know exactly what they're doing. They know what they got. You're not going to get a Julio Jones for $10 million. No one is going to give you. You go let Julio Jones go to free agency. Let him be a free agency this year, next year. I promise you, he will get more than $10 million. The Falcons know that. So all the fans sitting up here, saying that this guy shouldn't ask for more money. I say bullshit. I say you guys don't know what the hell you're talking about, because Julio Jones is incredibly, vastly underpaid. Underpaid without question. Anyone with any common sense knows he's underpaid. But yeah, man. Every time I do one of these lives, man, I always stay longer than I than I expect. But yeah, man. I'm sorry, but King, you clearly don't know what you're talking about. It comes. Anybody who plays the game of football knows that if you have a guy like Jones or Antonio Brown, which player are you gonna look at and say, "Oh my damn, oh my damn, oh shit, oh my God, look at that catch, incredible." You're gonna. That's Julio Jones. You can't tackle this guy. I've never seen a receiver. I've never seen a cornerback. Hell, even linebackers. I've never seen a linebacker cleanly take one. It takes multiple guys to try to bring Julio Jones down. He can run every route in the tree, every freaking route. He's an end zone target, regardless of the fact that they've struggled. And this is a team, like I said, the team, when you look at touchdowns in the red zone, a lot of the times it comes down to play calling, being creative at the right time. And the Falcons offensive coordinator is not really at this point. Like I said, he's a rookie, man. He was a rookie offensive coordinator. I'm not gonna bash him for that because this is his first year. He really don't know Julio Jones. He don't know Matt Ryan. He's struggling. All right, he's getting to learn a lot of these guys. But anyone look at Antonio Brown Tony Brown is definitely probably one of the best. He's definitely. I like to say these guys are 1A, 1B. All right, Antonio Brown. He has the. He's had one thing that Julio Jones does not have, and that's the offensive coordinator who knows how to get him the ball and when to get him the ball. He has that. The Falcons doesn't have that. They don't have that. They had that with Kyle Shanahan. And even with Kyle Shanahan, I think it was the best season he was had was 8 touchdowns with Kyle Shanahan. I think it was 8 touchdowns in the following year, 2016, one of the best seasons for the Atlanta Falcons. He had 6 touchdowns. So it's not so much, like I said over and over again. When you look at touchdowns, man, it's not so much these guys on the player. This is a total team effort. Offensive coordinator, quarterback, and receiver. Offensive coordinator had to draw up the right play to get these guys the ball at the right time. That's something any quarterback, any head coach, anyone who has any football knowledge knows. I mean, look, man. Oh my God, y'all people crazy. This is crazy, man. And I've seen Jerry Rice play in his prime. I've seen T.O. play in his prime. Randy Moss, Chris Carter. I've seen all these guys played in their prime, and I promise you, I have never in my life seen an athlete or a wide receiver like Julio Jones. This guy can do it all. He is impossible to guard. Okay? There's nothing you could do to stop him. But hope he's injured. That's the only thing you can do. Oh, King, yeah. He's not breaking tackles if he ain't catching balls. Um, Dude, what the bloody hell are you talking about? He caught 88 passes, 1,400 yards. What the hell are you talking about? All right. Seriously. I mean, you people do. A lot of people do their best to try to get guys and try to belittle guys and their talent, and they end up sounding so fucking stupid. And again, you one of my favorite guys. You're loyal to me. I love chatting with you, but this is plain stupid. Okay. Any wide receiver is break. Any person, any running back, wide receiver, tight end, not breaking tackles if they ain't catching balls. So what the hell kind of comment? What the hell kind of comment is that? Julio he ain't breaking tackles if he ain't catching balls. I mean, duh, shit. Hey, Michael Vick, he don't have the ball in his hand every possession. So what kind of damn is that? Look, man, it's not kissing his ass if it's true. Name a player if you've seen like a Julio Jones. I promise you. The only thing close to Julio Jones is T.O. And T.O. wasn't as fast as Julio Jones. Julio Jones is everything that you want in a receiver. And I'm not just saying this because he is an Atlanta Falcon. This is the fucking truth. Like I said, I've seen every top receiver there is in the game. Jerry Rice. I've seen Terrell Owens, Larry Fitzgerald, Randy Moss. I've seen them all. All the guys that say, that we believe are the top receivers of all time. Nothing. Anyone who watched the game can tell you there's never been a guy like Julio Jones. This guy's a freak of nature. There's nothing you can do. It's literally nothing you could do to stop this guy. But hope that he's injured and hope that the team or the play goes the opposite way. Because that ball getting Julio Jones, if that ball gets in his hands, he's a threat to take it to the house. Julio Jones is a threat to he's a threat without the ball. He's a threat with the ball. He's an excellent blocker. I don't think people give him credit for being an excellent blocker that he is. He Muhammad Nu. Those guys are physical blockers. Physical. So like I said, man, we can sit up here and debate. We can sit up here and debate all we want, who you prefer, Antonio Brown, Julio Jones. But I can take Antonio Brown out of the game. All right, he's still going to get his numbers because the way the Pittsburgh Steelers, they design their offense, Antonio Brown's going to get his numbers. All right, period, point blank. But I'm not afraid of Antonio Brown on, in a going across the middle, taking a hit. Julio Jones will knock your ass out if you thinking about trying to hit him. He's that damn big. He's that damn physical. It's not me. I've never seen a safety completely knock Julio Jones out. I've never seen it. Julio Jones punishes defenders. He punishes defenders. And this is not me being a homer. This is facts. Straight facts. Just look at it. Just look at the numbers. I implore you guys to go look at the highlights and see where Julio Jones has been knocked the fuck out by anyone. And and like I said, Bobby Wagner is not the best. Look, he's right now, like I say this, Bobby Wagner has one thing Deion Jones doesn't have, and that's experience. But you can't tell me that Deion Jones is not the best cover linebacker in the game. I mean, just go ask Drew Brees how he feel about Deion Jones. Just go ask Drew Brees how he feel about him. Look at it. These are just facts. Now, Bobby Wagner is a terrific player, especially in run defense. He's not as good in coverage as he is at run defense. That's one thing that Deion, and that has to go with his size. He's not a real big linebacker, but like I said, he put on a couple of pounds this year so he can, kind of keep up with the grind of the season. But for the most part, you look at Deion Jones, there is no better cover linebacker in the league than Deion Jones. Bobby Wagner is good, but he's not as good as Deion Jones as a cover. Even Luke Kuechly. Luke Kuechly is terrific. Too many concussions, but he's terrific linebacker. But he's not as good as Deion Jones as coverage. This guy's special. He can fly. Deion Jones can downright fly. And David, yeah, and see, that's what I'm saying. When I say a complete wide receiver, there's literally nothing Julio Jones can't do. There's nothing. And this is not me being a homer. This is just straight facts. There's nothing Julio Jones cannot do on that field. He's an excellent blocker. He got terrific coaching by Nick Saban in Alabama. Terrific coaching. He's coachable. You don't have to worry about him being in the headlines for the most part. He does what he does. He can run a short. He can run slants. He can run short hooks. He can run crossing routes. He can run past any cornerback. Any cornerback. We've seen what he did to Peterson. We've seen what he's done to Peterson. We've seen what he's done to Carolina Panthers. 300 yards in the game, and turn around and almost did it again. 200, I think it was like 260 or 250 yards as a receiver. I mean, he's just doing this over and over again. And we still got people talking about let's trade Julio Jones because he asked for money. I mean, name of a fucking receiver that you've seen put up 300 yards in a game. 1,400 yards in a down season. Okay. 1,400 yards receiving in a down year. Yes, I'm positive that all these teams looking at this real close, looking at us real close to see how we're gonna, handle this Julio Jones contract situation. They can't wait. They can't wait to give us 2 first-round picks for Julio Jones, because they know if they get Julio Jones, they're going to the Super Bowl. He is that valuable to an offense. And it's just not his athletic ability. Like I said before, Julio Jones commands and demands triple and double teams. You have to keep an eye on Julio Jones at all times. There was a play last year with Austin Hooper, wide open across the middle, because everybody was focused on Julio Jones, and he took it to the house. Austin Hooper took it to the house because everyone was focused on Julio Jones. That's the Julio Jones effect that I'm talking about. And trade that away? You want to get rid of that? Come on, people. You got to use your brains. You got to think. You got to use your brains, man. And you sound like I said, Ken, you one of my favorite guys, but you sound kind of ignorant, right? Only 3 touchdowns? Let me ask you this question. Let me ask everyone this question. How many touchdowns? You take Julio Jones off of the Atlanta Falcons team. How many times do you think the Falcons, how many touchdowns, who was our leading scorer? Who is the leading touchdown receiver? Who do you think is going to be the leading receiver on this team without a Julio Jones? You keep talking about he only had 3 touchdowns. Take Julio Jones off. Who do you look at on that team without last year, the previous years, without Julio Jones? Who do you look at and say, this guy's our go-to guy? You ever think about that? Who do you design plays for? Who do you design plays for without? No, this is last year. We're not talking about Calvin Ridley. Calvin Ridley is a rookie. We don't know if he's going to be. We don't know if he's going to pan out. Right now, we're just talking about potential. Calvin Ridley has potential, but we're talking about facts. All right, these are facts. You take Julio Jones off that team. Who do you design plays for? Austin Hooper, Taylor Gabriel, Mohamed Sanu. Who do you see? Come on. Let's be real. Only reason why Julio Jones had 3 touchdowns because he's a decoy. He's a decoy. He allows other guys to get open. Like I said before, there was a play last year where Austin Hooper was wide fucking open because you had both safeties looking and bit on Julio Jones. Austin Hooper took it to the house for 80 freaking yards because everyone was looking at Julio Jones. This is what Julio Jones does to a defense. You take this guy off of the team, you don't have that. You don't have that. So you can frown at the 3 touchdowns all you want to. I'm not worried about it. I'm worried about what Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman, Austin Hooper, Mohamed Sanu. If those guys' touchdown numbers go up, I'm happy. I don't have to see. I really don't care to see if Julio Jones scores. As long as Julio Jones put up his 88 catches, 1,400 yards, I'm happy. He can have 1 touchdown. All I give a fuck. That's all I care about. Everyone else's numbers, I'd rather have Taylor Gabriel or Calvin Ridley have a 10 touchdown season, and Julio Jones with the 88 catches, 1,400 yards, than continue to worry about how many fucking touchdowns you got. Because this Julio Jones effect on a defense matters much more than a touchdown. And if Julio Jones continues to struggle, quote unquote struggle, I'm fine with it. As long as we scoring points. I don't give a damn who leads the team in touchdowns. I really don't give a damn who leads the team in touchdowns. So the fact of the matter, like I said, man, the Julio Jones effect on this defense is without a doubt one of the best in the league, man. You don't have a lot of guys like a Julio Jones. You don't have a lot of offensive weapons like a Julio Jones. David, you're absolutely right. That is King. Oh God, man, you really you sound real stupid. You sounded real stupid now. Who the hell cares about stats? I want rings. Well, tell me this, bright guy. How the hell do you get rings if you don't put up stats? How the hell do you get rings if you don't prevent stats? So, well, a lot of time that's not gonna happen. 300 and a Super Bowl ring, that's not gonna happen. Okay, Julio Jones did not lose the Super Bowl for the Falcons. Okay, Julio Jones did not lose the Super Bowl for the Falcons. The defense did not hold their end of the bargain. Point blank. Period. Coaching didn't hold their end of the bargain. So there was a number of reasons why the Atlanta Falcons are still ringless. Okay, we're not gonna put this on one guy. We're not gonna do that. People who know the game know that there was a number of reasons why the Falcons lost that Super Bowl, and one of them is number 21 playing cornerback for the Atlanta Falcons. Had he been there, it would have been a completely, totally different game. Because Tom Brady absolutely abused Brian Poole. They destroyed him in that Super Bowl. Him and Jalen Collins, they destroyed him. I mean, Rocky was playing his ass off. Rocky was playing his ass off. Pick six, Tom Brady, Super Bowl, playing his ass off. So if you had a Desmond Trufant in the Super Bowl, I promise you the Falcons come away with it. Because they had no clue what to do. They had no clue on how to stop that Falcons defense. They got tired, worn out because Tom Brady kept dinking and dunking them to half to death. They took advantage of Brian Poole. And not only that, that lucky ass catch, inches away from the game, inches away from the ground, that could have been the game. That could have been the game. Had that drop. So the fact of the matter, it is luck. The Patriots have a lot of luck. And the Falcons, they did not have Adrian Claiborne, and we did not have Desmond Trufant, our best corner, and still almost won. And like I said, we can sit up here and talk about stats and whatnot. Stats are important. Stats can mislead you. But if Kyle Shanahan would have just remembered that we had to have all-pro kicker, we have an all-pro kicker, one of the best kickers in the league. If he just remembered that he can actually kick the ball and run the ball 3 times, we were looking at a Super Bowl. We're looking at the damn Super Bowl. But no, we keep looking at the fact that we lost. There was a number of reasons why they lost. And the fact of the matter is the Patriots have a better coaching system and they have a better experienced coach as far as, knowing what to do in crunch times. Dan Quinn is an excellent coach, but Bill Belichick, when the times get rough, he knows exactly when and when not to scratch plays. He said, no, fuck it, the game plan is not working. We're just going to get about Tom Brady and just let him pick the defense apart. And that's exactly what they did. Dan Quinn did not adjust, and that's how we lost that game. just run the ball 3 times. And that, like I said, we can sit up here and talk about Matt Ryan didn't, he didn't perform well in the second half. Devontae Freeman, again, Devontae Freeman was even benched in the third quarter because Kyle Shanahan, was mad because he, lost a few yards on a play. He benched him. Then turn around after that, decided he wants to throw. You up 28-3 in the third quarter, and you decide you want to start throwing. You up, let me say this again. I don't know if you guys hear this. You up 28-3 in the third quarter, and you decide that you want to start throwing the damn ball. Instead of handing the ball to Devontae Freeman, Tevin Coleman. You want to get pass happy. And we had Dan Quinn who sat there and let him do it. Terrible coaching. Absolutely terrible coaching. We can't put that all on Matt Ryan. We can't put that on Devontae Freeman and that defense. The Falcons coaching did not do they did not help in the Super Bowl either. Matt Ryan, I think this year he has more control over the offense. It will have more control over the offense, but what more control? I mean, what do you want from Matt Ryan? What else do you want from him? I just don't understand. I don't know what else would you want from Matt Ryan. Honestly, he's pretty much done everything. I think at this point in time, you couldn't, especially last year when you have a first-year quarterback, first coordinator. You can't. He's still learning the offense. This is not his offense. He's integrating certain aspects of his offense into this offense this year. So this year we'll see hopefully we'll see a better coach, a better play caller, and Steve Sarkisian when he integrate his offense and his scheme into this offense. So as far as that is concerned, man, Matt Ryan having more power or control over the offense, I mean, he is the offense, to be honest. We don't roll if Matt Ryan don't roll. Period, point blank. But I want to see him in certain areas and certain times of the ball game and say, you know what, I want to see Dan Quinn give him the freedom to say, you know what, the offensive coordinator not calling a good game. Give me the keys to the offense. I think that is something that Dan Quinn is reluctant to give to Matt Ryan. And rightfully so. I mean, he's a defensive coordinator. Defensive coordinators, most of the time, they are kind of defensive coordinators. And in most cases, you look at the Baltimore Ravens back in their championship days. They just played defense and ran the ball. They didn't take a lot of offense. They just gave Jamal Lewis the ball and ran the ball down into them because they know they had a defense that could, make plays. So they didn't take a lot of unnecessary chances. And so you have a defensive-minded coach like a Dan Quinn. He doesn't like to take a lot of chances. He doesn't like to give, especially a quarterback like Matt Ryan. Even Matt Ryan, with his credentials, you still have a head coach that wants to implement his style of play on his team. So he's not going to give Matt Ryan that type of power. I don't know if any defensive-minded coach is going to give a quarterback that much power. What's up, Big D? Takesha, Kane, David, man. I appreciate y'all, man. Seriously, I really appreciate y'all. Justin Hardy. Yeah, Justin Hardy be something interesting. He'll be interesting. I think this is a make or break year for Justin Hardy. He is, if he doesn't put up big numbers this year, and he may not be with the Atlanta Falcons next year, especially with the drafting of Calvin Ridley. I don't think Justin Hardy would be with the team. He's just not what the Falcons are looking for. Doesn't have a lot of speed. He's very good in short, intermediate route. You know, picking up third downs and whatnot. That style of offense is pretty much dead. Justin Hardy just doesn't have a lot of speed. Don't have a place on this team. I think his days are numbered here. He may have a good year, but I like Justin Hardy, but he just doesn't have a place here in Atlanta. I think this is his last year. Numbers are some good numbers in order for him to get a new contract with another team, and hopefully he doesn't play for the damn Saints or something. Lord have mercy. Matt Ryan still make rookie mistakes. Name me a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. Name a quarterback that does not. I've seen Aaron Rodgers make rookie mistakes. I mean, we've seen Aaron Rodgers for the last couple of years play against this Falcons defense, throw more interceptions than he's done in almost half a year. Falcons defense know how to play. Dan Quinn knows how to play Aaron Rodgers. He gets turnovers. He gets stops. So name me a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. Aaron Rodgers is one of the greatest of all time. But like I said before, name me a quarterback that doesn't make mistakes. We've seen Tom Brady last year. We've seen what he did in the Super Bowl, 500 yards, and he still couldn't get the ball past 20 yards. He was just dinking and dunking him half to death. The Philadelphia Eagles, they were giving him that, giving him the 5 and 10 yards. Tom Brady just smart enough to take it, and not. He tried to go deep later in the game, but Tom Brady, like I said, he's a lot closer to retirement than people think. I seen Tom Brady in the Super Bowl. He could not get that ball past 30, 40 yards. He couldn't pass the ball downfield. Almost not what it once was. So Tom Brady is on his way out. His retirement is a lot closer than people think it is. And that goes for any quarterback. Like I said before, we can sit up here and say, Matt Ryan needs to do this and Matt Ryan needs to do that. But if you don't have the right coaching and know what to do in certain situations and how to conduct yourself and how to control your team in crunch time, then you are not doing your players any good. Especially, like I said before, you go back to the Super Bowl, had Dan Quinn said to himself and said this to Kyle Shanahan, no, we're not going to throw this ball. We're going to stop. We're going to run the ball for the rest of the game. We're most likely looking at a Super Bowl win. But Dan Quinn didn't do that. He let Kyle Shanahan do what he did, and Kyle Shanahan fucked it up. So that's the coaching. Like I said, the players did what they did. The players did what they had to do in getting them in position to win the Super Bowl. But the coaching for the Atlanta Falcons is what done that game. And that's something that Bill Belichick, that is something Doug Peterson, all these good coaches, they know when and when not to do certain things. And that's something Dan Quinn got to learn. He's only in his fourth year as a head coach. You still have to learn stuff like that. Oh, you just say other quarterback something out of nothing. So what was that catch with Julio Jones on that sideline? That was an unbelievable throw, unbelievable catch by Julio Jones. So you telling me that Matt Ryan didn't make something happen then? Okay, like I said before, coaches make they contribute to wins just as much as players does. And have that catch, that unbelievable throw by Matt Ryan to even get that ball to that spot, and Julio Jones with that catch on the sideline. Had they just ran the ball after that play and let one of the best kickers in the game try to get a field goal in that position, you're looking at a win. You're looking at a win for the Falcons. You're looking at a win. But no, the coaching. It goes back to coaching. I say this over and over again. People, we sit up here and get so carried away with, players and their ability and whatnot, but you have to have a good coaching staff. And Philadelphia has an excellent coaching staff. Doug Peterson is an awesome offensive mind, has a good defensive coordinator, and they work together. So when it comes down to it, you have to have the perfect offensive coordinator, play callers, and the perfect offensive defensive play callers to work together for everything to come together at the right time. And that's something that has plagued Andy Reid for most of his career. Andy Reid always been a brilliant play caller, but in key situations, his team continues to fuck up every freaking year. It's been almost a decade of the same thing with Andy Reid, and he just continues to get, job after job, break after break, because he's a brilliant play caller. But in key situations, you cannot count on Andy Reid. You can't count on him. He's gonna screw it up. All right, let me ask you this then. Let me ask you this. What else Matt Ryan should have done in that situation? Besides throw the ball out of bounds on that sack with Jake Matthews. He made one mistake in that fourth quarter where he should have just threw the ball out of bounds instead of taking that sack. That was the only thing that Matt Ryan did that entire game that cost the Atlanta Falcons. But even then, they still had a chance to just, like I said, all they had to do was just run the damn ball 3 times. Instead, Matt Ryan got sacked, and you put Devontae Freeman, who is not he's an average pass blocker at best, and you put him in the position where he has to be a pass blocker. Just run the damn ball. You have the lead. Run the damn ball. You're not looking at Jake Matthews, putting Jake Matthews in the position where he has to pass block. These guys were tired on offense because defense couldn't stay. They stayed on the field too freaking long. Jake Matthews tired. Everyone's tired. You have to have coaches understand the situation of every game. Have to have players have to have coaches that understand every freaking situation. Just run the damn ball. Simple as that. And like I said, I'm with you there. Matt Ryan doesn't have that mentality where he's gonna say fuck you, changing the play. Matt Ryan does not have that, and I'm looking at your comments, man. I keep saying over and over again, we expect Matt Ryan to be Michael Vick, and I say Matt Vick. We're trying to make this guy a damn running quarterback. He's never gonna be a running quarterback. This is not a damn video game. This is not a video game. Never will be. So stop expecting him to run the ball, to change plays the way he does. This is not his personality. You have to Dan Quinn some, criticism for what he did not do in the Super Bowl. Okay, Dan Quinn lost that game. Dan Quinn trusted him way too freaking much. He trusted Kyle Shanahan more than he trusted his team. That's what cost the Falcons that game. You took your best player, hottest player, out for nearly the entire fourth quarter, the entire rest of the third quarter. Devontae Freeman was hot. Kyle Shanahan benched him because he missed him, because he lost yards on the play. He benched him and put in Tevin Coleman. Never mind that Devontae Freeman had about 80 yards rushing, and a couple of touchdowns. Never mind that. Kyle Shanahan, Dan Quinn has to say, no. He's our hottest player. We're not going to bench Devontae Freeman. I don't know what the hell you're doing, Kyle Shanahan. I don't know what the hell you're thinking, but we're not benching Devontae Freeman. That's when your head coach has to stand up for your players and say, you know what, down with this coach saying, down with the offensive coordinator saying, this player is hot. We're going to keep riding him. Dan Quinn didn't do that, and it contributed to the Falcons losing. And I have still yet to see the Super Bowl replay. But that's the fact of the matter is that the Atlanta Falcons head coaching staff, they were totally outcoached by the New England Patriots. Simple as that. I would have loved to see Matt Ryan. I've seen it all over I've seen a number of journalists reported on the sideline that Matt Ryan was cursing on the sideline, telling Kyle Shanahan to just run the damn ball. He didn't do that. So the fact of the matter, I wish Matt Ryan would have did what Roddy White said, you know what, fuck this, I'm just going to change the play. And if I get in trouble and I get fired, I'm just going to live with that, because I'm not going to let this guy screw up our championship. At least a chance at the championship. Matt Ryan should have changed the play there too. But at the same time, like I said before, Dan Quinn should have known better. He should have known better than to have your offensive coordinator pass the ball in that situation. That was just fucking stupid. Oh man. I can't disagree with anything y'all saying, man. Like I said before. Oh my God. This dude's saying a lot of crazy stuff. I'm not sure if you really oh man. Y'all crazy. Y'all are absolutely crazy. Seriously. You just want Matt Ryan to just continue to, override the head coach like that. That's not. Oh Lord, have mercy. All right, I'm done. I'm done with you. I'm done with this subject, man. King, but you you tripping, man. You absolutely tripping. I knew it was something behind that. Yeah, but if it had worked out, but it was not the smart thing to do in that situation. I keep saying that over and over again. Coaches have to put players in the position to succeed, and that play call and those consistent. He called at least 3 freaking passing plays in a row. When you have the lead, have an 8-point lead, and you have a chance to just go up 3 and extend the lead and possibly, go up 11. They have possessions with less than, at that time, I think it was, what, 4-5 minutes left in the game. That was more than enough. All you had to do is continue to run the ball in that situation. Exactly what Philadelphia did in that position. They ran the ball. They learned from what we did. Philadelphia ran the ball. We didn't. That's how they won. Philadelphia ran the ball. We did not. It gave themselves more chances to rest their defensive players. We didn't. Simple as that. You have to learn from it. And like I said before, man, I appreciate y'all. I really appreciate everybody. David, King, Tanisha, all you guys, man. Thank you for continuing supporting me, man. 500 subs. Really excited about that, man. Everything. Oh, man, I forgot. Dang, I'm losing power. I'm losing power, man. Gonna have to charge up. Like I said before, man, I appreciate everybody. I appreciate everybody's input. I love chatting with you guys. I'm gonna have to do this more often because we really get the Falcons fans who really get excited and happy to talk Falcons football. Season right around the corner. I'm thinking that the Falcons would be at least, at the very least, 10-6. But I think this is a year where the Falcons could easily, if this offense get back to what they're capable of and the defense continue to improve, I can easily see a 14-2, 13-3 year for the Falcons. Because solely that the Falcons can continue to build on that defense. And I don't think, like I said before, I don't think a lot of these experts out here are giving credit to Dan Quinn, what he's done and what he's made out of this defense. This defense, he took a pretty much an inexperienced, a rookie team to a Super Bowl. A defense filled with rookies to a Super Bowl. So he's getting better as a defensive coach. He's getting better as a coach, period. But like I said before, this defense can continue better and better. This Falcons defense, this Falcons team could be scary. And let me know what you guys think about that, man. For real, I really appreciate y'all support, man. Your boy Mad Mike is out, man. Peace. I'm gone, baby.